Yo, what's the word, boys? Welcome back. So we're going to be merging every UFC champion and seeing who's the best, ranking them from worst to best. So we'll be merging the Flyweight champion and the Bantamweight champion, the Featherweight champion and the Lightweight champion, the Welterweight champion and the Middleweight champion, and the Light Heavyweight champion and the Heavyweight champion. Let's start off with the Flyweight and Bantamweight fuse, I guess you could say. Alexandre O'Malley. This fighter is insane. This fighter is actually overpowered. I believe the best fighter in this type of video are going to be two completely different styles thrown into one. We have a very dominant grappling-based style in Alexandre Pantoja, and then we have the superb striker that is Sean O'Malley. You combine these two guys' skill sets, and they're kind of unbeatable. The only real problem with Alexandre Pantoja is he's not defensively sound on the feet. So if you give Alexandre Pantoja the offensive striking of Sean O'Malley alongside the striking defense, and then you give Sean O'Malley the grappling and the physicality and durability of Alexandre Pantoja, they seem quite unbeatable. I do believe this would probably be the best UFC fighter ever. It would probably be the most complete UFC fighter ever, alongside guys like Islam Makhachev, which is kind of insane to say. So this might be ranking very, very high on the list. Alexandre O'Malley would be over fucking powered. Let's move on to the featherweight and lightweight champion. Yeah, this is just overpowered. This is like the greatest human being that has been placed on this earth. Ilia Makhachev. Ilia Makhachev is the greatest fucking fighter ever. I don't care what anybody says, Dana White. He's better than John Jones. This would be the pound for pound #1 fighter in UFC history. Islam is arguably the most well-rounded fighter we've seen in UFC history. He literally has no flaws. So I guess we could give him the boxing of Ilia Topuria. Imagine Islam Makhachev with the boxing of Ilia Topuria. What the fuck do you do to beat this guy? He's already the best defensive striker in UFC history from the eye test and statistically. He's probably the best grappler and wrestler we have in the UFC right now. His offensive striking, kickboxing, and counter-striking is criminally underrated. And now you give him Ilia Topuria's boxing, which is super tight. He has a lot of power. He has the ability to go to the body, to the head, and then this fighter would just be ridiculous. Imagine Islam, or Ilia Makhachev, I guess you could say, in the pocket. You know, he has the option to either go for a single leg or just brutally knock you out with Ilia Topuria's power. So I guess it's just going to be a merge of Topuria's boxing and his power, and then everything that Islam Makhachev provides. And Topuria, I'm not going to disrespect him here, his grappling and BJJ game is criminally, and I mean criminally underrated. You could look outside the UFC, it's literally submission after submission after submission. So the fact that people think this guy doesn't have a BJJ game is quite insane. I already kind of leaked the ranking a little bit, but if you think this is not #1, who the fuck are you? This fighter would be just stupid overpowered. Let's move on, though, to the welterweight and middleweight champion, Belal Duplessis. Now, the problem with this fighter is Belal Muhammad and Dricus Du Plessis are pretty similar fighters. They have similar strengths, similar weaknesses. So I don't know if this fighter is going to be the best one on the list. Now, of course, if we're comparing them to the average UFC fighter, of course, they're going to be insane. We're literally merging the skill sets of two UFC champions. But the similarities, between Belal and Dricus are, they're not going to make the best UFC fighter ever. They're very heavy, pressure based. They have a decent, or not decent, they have a great grappling and wrestling game. Not the most technical kickboxers in the world, so I don't see this fighter being the best in the world. However, you give Dricus better defensive striking, not as sloppy on the feet. Both guys have great gas tanks, and this would be just a problem to fight. It'd be a fucking pain in the ass to fight Belal Duplessis, because the one thing that Belal Muhammad proved to me in the Leon Edwards fight is he is elite. He is absolutely elite, and his ability to cut down range is some of the best in the UFC we have right now, because we know Leon Edwards is a phenomenal kickboxer. Belal didn't stay in kickboxing range. His ability to cut down the space and then get in boxing or grappling range while staying extremely defensively sound is phenomenal. So Dricus will have better striking defense, more crisp combinations on the feet, and then still have a very nice grappling and wrestling base with amazing cardio. However, stacked up against the fighters we have on this video or in this video, I don't think they're going to rank too high. Let's move on to the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion, Alex Aspinall. Yeah, this dude's going to fucking knock you out. Alex Pereira, we know he's arguably the best striker in UFC history. He has ridiculous power. Now you're combining his power with Tom Aspinall. That's kind of insane. But the one weak point with Alex Pereira's game is that grappling and wrestling game. And now you give him Tom Aspinall, who has underrated grappling and wrestling. And this fighter is kind of insane. Tom Aspinall, very good forward pressure. Maybe, I don't know if I'd say he's a better boxer than Alex Pereira, but his 1-2 is insane. And if you merge these two guys' skill sets, they're knocking guys out or they're submitting you in 1 or 2 rounds. If you're fighting Alex Aspinall, I'm not sure what you're going to do, because now you get the strength of Tom Aspinall. You're not going to take this dude down, and do you really want to fuck with this dude on the feet? No. So you're going to have to outpoint this guy, if that's even possible. I'm not too sure. This guy is quite insane, and I want to see this fight. At the end of the day, I want to see Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall, and I do believe it's a very strong possibility, because we know John Jones and Stipe Miocic are going to retire, so fuck it. Why not make this fight? So we've merged all the UFC champions. Let's go through it one more time. We have Alessandro O'Malley as the Flyweight Bantamweight champion. We have Ilia Makhachev as the Featherweight and Lightweight champion. We have Belal Duplessis as the Welterweight and Middleweight champion. And then we have Alex Aspinall as the Light Heavyweight and Heavyweight champion. Let's rank them from worst to best. In my opinion, at the bottom, it is going to be Belal Duplessis. As I said, both guys have somewhat similar styles, so that doesn't really aid them in this fight, in this video, I should say. One guy isn't the best striker in the world, and one guy is the best grappler in the world, so if we're merging them, they're not really gaining attributes that they need, so I have to put them at the bottom. Next up, I'm going to put Alessandro O'Malley at 3. However, it could go number 2. They're quite similar. As I said, this guy's insane. Alessandro Pantoja and Sean O'Malley have very differing styles, so that works for them in this fight. You have the striking, you have the footwork, you have the power of Sean O'Malley, very defensively sound on the feet, and his offensive striking game is arguably the best in the UFC. And then you merge that with Alessandro Pantoja, who just is a dog. He's an absolute dog. He's extremely tough. He has the ability to get the fight to the ground and submit you. His top pressure is really, really good. It's hard for guys to get up. His transitions and all that is phenomenal. So I'm going to put him at the number 3 spot, just above him, I'm going to have Alex Aspinall, because Tom Aspinall gives Alex Pereira that strength and that grappling and wrestling game that he does need. And then we have Alex Pereira, of course, on the feet, arguably the best striker in UFC history. The power that Alex Aspinall would have would be otherworldly. If you want to put Alessandro O'Malley above him, you can, but just due to the fucking threat of the finish, I have to put Alex Aspinall at 2. I'm not even sure where this fighter would fight at. Probably heavyweight, but if you mix the striking of Alex Pereira and then the grappling and submission game and the power and the size and strength of Tom Aspinall, you're creating one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous fighter ever in combat sports history. But at number 1, I do have Ilia Makhachev. Absolutely zero holes in this game. You could look at Islam Makhachev, the most complete fighter in UFC history, in my opinion. On the feet, the most defensively sound striker ever. His boxing game has come alive. He's very dangerous in the pocket. As a counter striker, he's very, very good. Kickboxing, amazing. And then grappling, wrestling game, we know all about that. He can eat a shot. His chin's decent, so we think. And then you have Ilia Topuria, who is also very well-rounded. These are two of the most well-rounded guys in the UFC. I think these are the top 2 most well-rounded guys in the UFC, excuse me. And then you're kind of just giving Islam Makhachev the boxing of Ilia Topuria and the power. And that fighter has not one flaw, not a single flaw. So I have to put them at number 1. So recapping my list, I have Ilia Makhachev at 1, Alex Aspinall at 2, Alessandro O'Malley at 3, and then Bilal Du Plessis at 4. Let me know what you guys think of the list in the comment section down below. And also, I tried to make this video a little bit more professional. I want to see, or try out new styles of videos. I've taken inspiration from a lot of the top MMA creators, so shout out to them. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. Similar style to this, let me know, and I definitely will be incorporating the face cam in my videos, absolutely. So let me know what you guys think of the list in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, follow all my socials. Link will be in the description down below. Peace out.